Deeper water bass learn very quickly to feed on smaller fish. Those smaller fish that are around the weeds are normally not bait fish. Those bait fish are either shallow or in deeper water. They're usually smaller panfish like sunfish, rock bass, and especially perch. So the largemouth, even though they live in the same habitat, zero in on any erratic swimming fish. This is why crankbaits work so well to catch these fish off of weed lines and around weed beds in water deeper than 10 feet. Largemouth learn very quickly that if they cruise in and out of these weed lines and weed beds, it's very easy for them to grab a meal. So most of the time, they'll stay. They'll become resident fish on a certain weed line or weed bed, and they won't move around very much. So they won't come to you. You have to use either an electric trolling motor or drift with the wind and try to cover as much of a weed line or weed bed until you contact or get close to a largemouth. When you do, they usually hit very violently. It's not like them feeding on a frog or something else that's in shallow water close to the surface. They know that they have to exert the most amount of pressure to try to grab a fish, especially if it's a fish that's trying to get away. For that reason, usually the hits on a crankbait are very strong and the fish hook up really well.